Grinders, containers and micro. The engineer needs to switch off the machine, remove the grounds drawer, turn the key anti-clockwise and then open the front panel. The tools required are Phillips and flathead screwdrivers, 13mm wrench and 3mm Allen key. To remove the coffee containers, the service engineer needs to close the two tabs that close the container. Alongside the tab is the screw to adjust grinding fineness. After this, the engineer can remove the coffee container with the magnet in the bottom. The magnetic microswitch is located in the top part of the machine. Grinder access and changing. After removing the containers, remove the 4 Phillips head screws in the top panel and disconnect the wiring. The 2 microswitches for the containers and the micro for the decaffeinated coffee chute are located in the back part of the top panel. The cover of the decaffeinated coffee chute has a magnet to enable a decaffeinated function. To access the grinders, the engineer needs to clean out, suction, the coffee beans remaining in the grinder and then remove the left and right side panels by taking out the screws on both. To change the grinders, the engineer will need to loosen the adjustment worm screw that adjusts grinding fineness, accessing the side parts of the respective grinders with a 3mm Allen key, and then to slide the regulator from the top. The service engineer will then loosen the top ring nut on the grinder and clean the seating to remove any coffee deposits. The next stage is to disassemble the grinders using a flathead screwdriver. When refitting the parts, the engineer will need to screw on the top grinder completely until it touches, and then turn it half a turn back. Then, refit the adjustment screw, secure it to the grinder, and reassemble the whole unit. Use the relevant screw to adjust grinding fineness to obtain the desired coffee quality. Ventilation system. The service engineer will need to switch off the machine, remove the grounds drawer, turn the key anti-clockwise, and then open the front panel. To remove the coffee containers, block the 2 tabs closing the container, and then it will be possible to remove them and the 4 Phillips head screws on the top panel, before disconnecting the wiring. As well as the grinders, in the top part of the machine, it's possible to see the conveyors of the 2 types of ground coffee. The fan for the ground coffee chute, 0.08 amp, and the fan to cool the containers, 0.15 amp, which serves to keep coffee bean quality at a constant level. Changing the condenser. To access the condensers, the service engineer will have to switch off the machine and remove the rear panel by taking out the 2 screws with a Phillips head screwdriver. The engineer has to remove the right side panel too. To remove the condensers, take off the protective cap and disconnect the fastons. Using a 13mm wrench, the engineer can remove the nut on the side panel of the condenser and then remove the condenser itself.